What is up, Metal Friendly Universe? I'm PJ Steven. I'm here with Bizness Suit. Finally getting on the show. It's been a while, but we finally got a date, which is pretty nice. Guys, it's good to see you guys. I haven't seen you guys since we were at the Jam in the Creek in Goose Creek. God damn that fucking shit. Are you guys going to talk about Satan? Yeah, we're going to talk a lot about Satan. We're not going to talk about a lot about Satan tonight, guys. We're going to talk about a lot about the blues and rock and roll and how it incorporates into heavy metal, which I think by the end of this video you might, I agree that blues is almost, not like heavy metal as in music-wise, but the genres I think very much coincide, and we're going to talk about that later on. But first I want to talk about Bizness Suit as a band. Where did it come from? Where do you guys kind of start?
I think it's important that we start with saying Bizness Suit came from Satan.
Satan? That's we should just cut it, because that's not going to get any better than that. Satan. Anyway, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Interview over.
This is who came from Satan.
Break it?
It's a short interview.
I guess Sean and I were in, we started a band in 2006.
Yep.
And it was bad. It was really
Worst
bad.
band ever.
We had some of the worst sound clips, and it evolved to a band called Homer.
And it was just you two?
Yeah.
Just a two-piece?
Just two of us. Yeah, Sean was given a guitar for Christmas. It was Christmas.
I didn't know how to play guitar at this point.
What was that, 2010?
Yeah.
So it was like January 2011. Sean gives me a bass guitar that I had given him before. I was like, learn this. I've got a guitar.
So you Indian gave you.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's for the band.
And
that's right.
And he's like, and the whole time I just wanted to quit because it was too hard. And he was always just like, never. He would never talk to me while we were playing. He would just look at me with this face. And it's like I'm playing. I can't. So I keep playing, and Homer became a thing that we shared with people. We recorded, and then we started a band called The Stations, and
that was a 4-piece.
Yeah, it was a 4-piece, and that kind of fell through. And then we were still together and determined to make something, and we started a grunge rock band called The Damn Rights.
Okay.
And
I like that name.
Yeah, it was a pretty good name.
We had one show.
We had one show.
Where's that?
Oasis.
Yeah.
Oasis. Oh my god, I fucking miss the Oasis, man.
Yeah.
Or the Big O, or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had one show, and then we were writing a song called Bizness Suit, and it had a completely different feel to it. It was in 5/4, and it was just I don't know, it was just a progression away from garage rock. It was
I don't know what the next step is.
Yeah, but that's what. Then we decided that was the name of the song. That was the name of the band. That was the name of the first.
So
EP
you changed the name of the band from the song that you wrote.
Yeah, to kind of like fit around the sound that
Sure.
song hit, and that kind of.
We were less grungy too.
Yeah.
At that point.
Is that when you started to kind of get into that kind of old school rock and roll, kind of bluesy type of shit?
Kind
I
of.
think so. Yeah.
At that time, Sean had just introduced me at that time to AC/DC, and we were being very inspired by classic rock.
Sure.
Prince.
Yeah. Prince. Sure.
Yeah.
And a lot of the songs were being written were inspired by those people. And
that Arctic Monkeys album.
which one? AM?
AM. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it was shortly after that we got Jeremy, who's not with us tonight, but
Catman.
he's dead.
The cat man.
No, he's not dead.
Dude, don't say that, because then I'm going to get people, oh my god, my thoughts and prayers with his family.
He's not really dead.
He's not really dead.
He's not with us
just at work.
tonight.
Alright, so Bizness Suit, you guys have put out 2 records.
Yeah.
By the way, I guess I should.
This interview's off to a good start, I think. We killed our drummer already.
Yeah, fuck it. You know, he's not here. He's got to work.
By the end of this night, he works.
I guess it's important. I guess it's worth noting. Sean, your rhythm guitar lead singer. I guess I can say. Dylan, I'm gonna get back to you in a minute because I have something to say. But Hunter, you're a fantastic guitar player, lead guitar. Hunter Moss. Dylan, I gotta ask. You said you didn't really like playing bass at first, but you're such a great bass player now. Like, and blues takes a lot of kind of styling to go. That's a bad bass impression, but you know what I'm saying. Like, so what made you kind of change your mind? Was it the new music that you were writing, or was it just you just did it for the band, or you did it because of Sean?
I forced him to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty much forced to do it.
But you like it now?
I
It's like, Drew, I need a bass player.
It was more of a.
You have a bass.
I enjoyed and still enjoy doing it. It was so difficult just to learn an instrument. But I mean, I had loved music for so long and just sat there repetitively listening to stuff. So,
what kind of things were you listening to? Sorry to interrupt.
Bush.
Oh
yeah.
Listen to Bush? Well, because you were in a garage band at the time, so I guess I get it.
No, I mean, I think around the time when he actually was forcing me, I'd just gotten into Guns N' Roses, listening to Bush, Chili Peppers,
Guns N'
Prince,
Roses first record.
and then he started introducing me into the blues through the Doors, and that's kind
Good
of
way to do it.
That's kind of where we started, yeah. So it was like learn this progression, and just keep repeating it. And then we started doing stuff like the White Stripes and
Sure, yeah.
I don't know. It was just stuff that you could do as a two-man without someone who can play with their teeth.
Who you looking at? No, man. I mean, I think that's really fucking cool, man. You mentioned the Doors. Sometimes I don't think the Doors get enough credit, man, because like they were a big fucking deal. Especially Ray. I can never pronounce your last name. As a keyboardist, I mean, like, goddamn, that was something you didn't really hear a whole lot back in the day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, that goes back to Geddy Lee. Playing keyboards with his feet and playing bass, and singing. But no, when you talk about the Doors, I mean, I don't think they get enough credit that they really deserve. Albums, what is it? Waiting for the Sun. That's real. That's epitome, man, right there. And of course, like Strange Days. That's what it is. That's right. Classic shit. Exactly. So let's move on for a little while. We talked about the first record for a little bit. What was that like for you guys? Were you guys, and was it the same lineup that you have now on the first record?
I was not there.
You were not there.
I was not there.
Pre-Hunter, yeah.
Pre-Hunter era. Pre-DC Hunter.
Previously.
So, it was me and Drew, and
The Catman was there?
Catman was there, yep. We found Jeremy through a friend, and we'd been playing together for, I don't know, 8-10 months.
Yeah, not
something
even
like
a full year.
Yeah.
And you guys decided this is the lineup you want to do to
to
have the record. And who wrote most of the songs of the record?
I did pretty much all the music, and then Drew did most of all the lyrics.
Okay.
Pretty much.
We did
Mostly, yeah.
So you guys were that's the moment that you said, okay, let's go and get in the studio, let's make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
The first album is really good. I'm a fan of the first record. I love it. I like your second one better, but we're gonna get to that. But the first one, I remember hearing it because I saw you guys at the Sand Shack a couple years ago, which is also in our archives on YouTube for the Metal for Metal Rock the Rescue a couple years ago. It is in our archives YouTube. But that's the first time I ever saw you guys. I was like, this is fucking really good. And I remember looking at, this is funny, so I've never told you guys this. I remember looking at Max, who was the bass player for the Gutter Saints. I said, how much you want to bet these fucks are going to do a House of the Rising Sun cover? And sure enough, man, I was like, no shit, they really fucking did. And it was really good. I was like, fuck yeah, man. And I was just spitballing, I was bullshitting. I was like, I want them to do it. And they did. I was like, fucking cool. But,
That's really fun.
so talk to me about the progression through the first record, and what was that like kind of recording that?
So we actually did, I guess, a record before that one. It was like just me and Drew, and then we had a couple of drummers play.
Oh shit, I wasn't aware of that. Okay.
Yeah. We re-recorded most of those songs for the first album.
Right. Okay.
That one we recorded in California.
Mm-hmm.
It was Jeremy's aunt knew this guy from college that was a producer in LA, and we sent him our music, and he wanted to work with us, so we did a whole like Kickstarter thing to get out there and pay for the studio time and everything, and he was like, I'm like playing keyboard and producing Billy Gibbons' new album, new solo album. I bet he could be on one of your songs. We're like, oh.
Did you piss your pants? I mean, like, I would have. I'd have been like, what do you mean? You know, like...
When at first the whole proposal came about, he said he wanted to get a guest guitarist on one song in specifically, and he said, who do you want? Just throw names out there. At the time, like, Prince was still alive, so it was like...
I don't think he would do it, though.
Yeah, we were like, Prince. Like, we compiled a list, and, like, Slash was on there, and he was like, yeah, I'll just email him. I was like, wait, that was serious. Wait, we were, like, not... We thought we were...
Did you write names like Michael Bolton? I mean, you just, like, started writing bullshit names.
Pretty
Like,
much, yeah.
But, I mean, it was like...
Slash
we started
people.
just going, like, pipe dream, like, who do you want? That'd be fucking awesome if Slash was on there. It'd be great if Prince did it. And then he came back and was like, yeah, Slash can't do it. He's like in Europe right now. What was that guy's name? John Popper, the singer and harmonica player for the Blues Traveler. He's like, you want him? I can get him. And we're like, no.
was that on our list? I don't think so.
I thought we should
We tried Robbie Krieger.
Oh, yeah, we
On
did.
the Doors.
Yeah.
No
Guitar
shit.
for the Doors,
Yeah, he came back and he
Damn.
said a nice thing, but it was
It was a decline.
yeah, it was
There's like a nice way of
there's
defining.
nothing else I can add to this.
The song is perfect as is.
Yeah,
Great
alright,
job.
cool.
Yeah.
And,
That's him going like, I don't really want to do this, but good job. You know?
and then,
Well, I mean, it could have been. I mean, I guess he could have been telling the truth. You never know.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then Billy Gibbons spent like a long time with the song. He was touring and he recorded it live in like Massachusetts somewhere.
Like during sound check,
Yeah,
they just
No
hooked up
shit.
recording.
and
Damn, dude. So, did you ever get to meet him? Or
yeah, we
you
did
did.
him a couple times. And
Was he a cool dude? I'm sure he is.
yeah, the last time we met him, it was after a sound check. It was here in Charleston.
At the music hall.
And,
Sure.
and he came, like, after the sound check, and before the opener went on, they were having dinner backstage, and we're eating dinner with Billy Gibbons. I forget who the opener was.
To people who, to the closed-minded metal fans that watch the show and don't know who Billy Gibbons is, guitarist for ZZ Top.
Yeah, a guy with
Okay.
great big bushy beard. Great big bushy beard.
Anyway, continue. I know there's some closed-minded metal fans like, Billy Gibbons, he ain't metal! So, anyway, continue.
Well, he,
Looking at you, Dennis.
Get it together, Dennis.
Love you, Dennis.
no, he had, mashed potatoes in his beard while we're sitting there talking to him.
Of course.
And I mean, it's Billy Gibbons. How the hell are you going to be like, Mr.
just-
Yeah.
What are you doing, boy?
So yeah, we sat there. No one said anything. Someone must have, or he found a mirror eventually. But like he performed later that night.
I was saying, did he go on stage with mashed potatoes?
Good
in his
guy,
beard?
that would be
Maybe
great.
he
He went on
was.
stage, the potatoes were gone.
Maybe he was saving it.
He
for
was.
later.
He was sick. And after the show, he disappeared for like 10 minutes and came back out to do autographs. And he was in matching top and bottoms pajama pants. It was awesome. He's like one of those dudes who has
Just don't give a
the
fuck.
tops and bottoms that match.
Good for
Yeah.
him, man. I'd always loved to meet Billy Gibbons, man. Good for you, man. That's great that you guys were able to get him on the record. Now, I want to ask, do you think that Billy Gibbons being on your record, I think obviously it added to a little bit of the success of the record, but do you think that you could have went over that barrier if he wasn't on the record?
That's a good question.
I think in some aspects, the only true benefit became like we could talk about Billy Gibbons being on the record.
Sure. And I'm not denying that that added to your success, and I don't want to take that away from you
No,
as well.
But, I mean,
But I'm just asking, do you think that the record could have gone off on its own the way it was?
So after this record, and before we did the second record, we got Hunter, and Hunter joined us and was doing the second record.
Right.
In more ways than just recording.
Which I like even better. We're going to get to that. Yeah.
But if I feel like personally, if people could hear the version that we were performing with Hunter on it, rather than what Billy Gibbons did. What Billy Gibbons did was awesome. It was a beautiful track. But what we're doing now could go so much further. If we had that we were able to put forward, with Hunter on it, I think it could have spoken more volumes than
No shit.
what
You-
just
really?
what just a household
Damn.
name.
How big is your erection right now hearing him say that? No, I'm just kidding. But sir, wow, that's great. But that's good though, because you don't want it, if you have someone quote unquote famous on your record, you don't want that to be your anchor. You don't want that to be your cliche. You don't want that to be your 20 years from now you're saying like, well, that one time we had Billy Gibbons on our record, so I agree with that statement.
Not that I want to trash talk Billy Gibbons.
No.
It's just a cool story, I think.
Yeah, it's
For
one of those
sure,
things
yeah.
where it's like, you're loyal to the members of the band. If you truly think that if Hunter would have been on that record, it would have been just as great. That's fantastic. I'm with it. And Hunter's a great guitarist.
Yeah.
And he's
Well,
fantastic
As
guitarist.
an outside, because I wasn't in the band, and I got the record, and I think I listened to that record like 20 times in one day, like just over and over.
Did you think like, I could do that?
No, I was like, because I liked the record a whole bunch.
Sure,
And then
yeah.
they asked me to play with them, and I was like, oh yeah, sure, I love the record. So
Yeah.
I was all about it. So I think it's great. Like that record was really well done.
I love that record. We're going to get into the transition from the first record to the second record. I want to talk a little bit of Hunter. What was the transition like with you going into the band? Like I know you just said that they asked you to be in the band, but
Yeah.
you were in another band before that, correct?
Yeah, I've been playing in different bands, but the one I was really in was Pluff Mud Queen.
Exactly. That's
Right,
what I was
yeah.
trying to think of.
Yeah,
And I couldn't think of the name.
Yeah, Pluff Mud Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we still play. I think we've only played 2 shows in the last 2 years, basically.
Well, I saw you play one show at the Sparrow,
Right. Yeah.
and I was like, "That's fucking Hunter from Business Suit." Like, that's
Yeah.
fun.
So that was my project with a friend of mine, and then so they asked us to open for them for their Gray Sky Blues' release at
Sure,
My Father's
yeah.
Mustache. So we did that, and then I got on stage and played.
You played a couple songs with us, I think.
Did I?
It was,
I know I at least played Gray Sky Blues
And rock and roll.
and rock and roll. That's what it was. Yeah.
Sure.
And so did that, and then all right, you want to join the band? Yeah. Hell yeah.
Sure.
Why
not?
That's pretty
So
much
you
it,
guys went
yeah.
from a 3-piece to a 4-piece, or did you kick someone out? You
No.
said you were a 4-piece at one point, right?
At one
but
point,
Business Suit was never a 4-piece.
Yeah, Business Suit was always 3-piece until we added Hunter.
Until you added Hunter. And that's just an extra
So-
dynamic. That was
Yeah, so I was doing lead and rhythm and everything on guitar,
sure
but this kind of frees me up a little
to
bit.
do. Yeah,
Yeah, it was awesome in the
to
beginning
wear
when
to wear sunglasses at
Yeah,
night.
yeah, That's all I want.
I get it.
he was doing awesome stuff on guitar because he could never do what he did on the studio album. Because on the studio album, he was doing rhythm and lead. So when
Sure.
we
I
played
did like
live,
5 guitar tracks on
Yeah.
each song.
so every time we played live, it was something new. It was awesome. But then when we added Hunter, it actually freed Sean up to be more dynamic on vocals and
Sure.
to get more exploratory there, and it just filled it out a lot better.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
And you guys make a really good team, man. Like, you guys are tight as fuck. Every time I see you guys, I'm impressed. I mean, it's really good shit. You guys have a show coming up December 7th. Am I right at the mill with the Disquiet, We as a Species, Guardians of Warlock? Gonna be a pretty cool show. Excited to be there. We're gonna talk a little bit about the second record. So, how do you think the second record stacks up with the first one? I know, based on what you just said, talking about Hunter in the band as a guitarist, do you agree that it's a better record as well?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Oh, that's a continuing, like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
For sure.
What's different besides Hunter being in the band?
I think our sound has evolved into more of what we were going for initially.
We're also very hands off on the first album, basically the mixing and
Yeah.
production. Right?
So you you recorded the first one in California. Did you do the next one here at home?
Yep.
You did, right?
We did it in Jeremy's house.
Yeah, Jeremy's parents, basically they have a big
They were
downstairs.
supposed to go away for the weekend, and we were going to record, and then
One got sick. I think.
one or both of them got sick, so they just
I'm
stayed.
sure they loved you guys.
They just stayed upstairs while we recorded an entire album in like
A weekend.
1 weekend.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Isn't the best time to record a record though in like a couple of days rather than like stretching it out for a week?
Yeah.
You hear about a lot of these bands that are like, yeah, we were in the studio for like 3 weeks. Fucking how? Like,
I don't understand.
no job?
Yeah.
You know? Anyway, that's just
Yeah, no, so we have all the equipment and stuff, like a mobile studio that
sure.
we've amassed over.
Well, between all
Over
four
the
of you
years,
guys,
Yeah, over the years, yeah. So we had our friend Stephen Williams, who's the bassist of Pluff Mud Queen, actually
Yeah.
engineer, like help us engineer all that. And then we tore apart Jeremy's parents downstairs for a weekend basically and just rocked out live down there and recorded everything.
So you record live and then you overdub?
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I isolate the amps and then we
Sure.
redid the vocals. I think I redid a couple guitar parts, but
Sure.
the drums we got the drums and bass, like live and all that stuff. So
Well, Bizness Suit is all over fucking Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, all that noise. It's great shit. If you're into the blues, rock and roll kind of shit, and it's local. It's fantastic. That's the best part about it. It's local. That's what you gotta love. And these are there's 3 of them here. There's 4 talented motherfuckers talking about blues and rest in peace. Talk about blues and rock and roll. We're going to get a little bit more broad into this interview here. We're going to talk about the differences and the similarities between blues and heavy metal. Something that I was reading earlier today when I was looking up for this, when I was researching for this interview, B.B. King, I'm paraphrasing here, has said something along the lines of blues was kind of like the redheaded stepchild of the music genre when he was growing up. I believe he quoted in the 50s and 60s. Mm-hmm. When you go back down, the next quote was from The Headbanger's Journey, which was a show on, I think, either Fuse or something like that was like a heavy metal documentary kind of thing, where it also said almost the same thing about heavy metal. I think we can agree that heavy metal was kind of always a redheaded stepchild of music, especially growing up in the 80s and the late 70s with the PMRC and all that kind of bullshit. In the middle 80s, fuck you, Gore. Anyway, but so I think that's a similarity as well. You went to the blues to kind of escape that kind of same old music that you heard. The blues was something that Satan was a part of, hence Robert Johnson, Selling a Soul to the Devil, and all these kind of things. And then you go to heavy metal, which of course has double references in it, and still gets protest today. So what do you guys think about that? What do you think about the similarities between something that you would think is totally different, but really almost the same?
God, when I think of the blues, at least, I do think about this quote regarding Jack White, where he talked about how blues is like the foundation of most music.
I agree.
It comes back to hip hop, heavy metal, it's constantly there.
I agree.
But I mean, as far as heavy metal goes, that's always been the case. Led Zeppelin was once called heavy metal,
mm-hmm.
and it was pushed
but
out of that pocket.
Kind of bluesy they are. I mean, No Quarter. I mean, fucking that first record, besides maybe Good Times, Bad Times, really fucking bluesy.
Yeah.
A lot of their albums, even through Physical Graffiti, they were still pretty heavy in the
Such a great
blues.
fucking record. I love that. Anyway, but no, I agree. So, and especially look at Howlin' Wolf, which influenced Rolling Stones, which influenced a lot of punk bands, and of course metal bands. So it's again, it goes back to maybe a lot of, I talk about this a lot about this with the difference between punk and heavy metal, that for some reason there was some big rivalry in the 80s about it, when really they're almost the same thing. Which, again, goes back to what I was just talking about with blues and heavy metal. Blues, the big example that I found listening to a lot of old school blues, and of course, the metal that I listen to, because I listen to the same goddamn thing every day, the solos, almost identical. The heavy metal is just a little faster. Mm-hmm. I believe that in the 50s, if they would have had distortion,
like we do today,
it would have been the same goddamn thing. Am I right?
I think so, yes, actually.
I mean,
people get heavy metal is basically just an offshoot. It's the new modern offshoot of, like you say, of what the blues was back then.
Sure.
So, I mean, technology has only made it better, and people are just getting better at guitar and drums and hell, God knows whatever else is going on these albums now. Synthesizers.
I'm glad that you brought that up, because I'm going to ask you guys a question. There's a lot going on now that there's never going to be another Metallica or Judas Priest or Iron Maiden or things like that. Do you agree with that, or do you think that there is maybe that talent somewhere in this world just hasn't been discovered yet? And I'm talking specific heavy metal. I know it's getting off the topic of blues and what you guys are, but what do you guys think about that?
I mean, there's
Would you ever want another Metallica? I mean, it's so ingrained that Metallica is Metallica, right? I don't know.
I could use another Saint Anger that didn't suck. You know what I mean? No, I mean, I guess not another Metallica, but just another band that's going to get up to that level.
Super one.
Yeah, I mean, there's a Bizness Suit.
Yeah. Go and just promote yourself there. I'm not saying specific names of bands, but you think that there's
Sure, yeah. There's some kid out there, I'm sure, that can wail, and if he met the right people, yeah. I went to music school in California, and those kids rip, man. I mean, they are insane technical guitar players. But I think what it comes down to is, can you get a group of people that can all work together, right? And if they can, and they all are like amazing, then you get something like that. Or they all hate each other, and then
Then you get Megadeth.
Yeah.
Which I love Megadeth. But.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's like I think it's possible. It's just I think it comes down to circumstance and right timing and luck and things like that.
I agree to that. Luck has a lot to do with it, and the times that they were in.
Exactly. Yeah.
Goddamn, the early '80s. That's when you needed to form a fucking band. We just talked about that in our Table of Metal '80s episode in our archives. Check it out. But anyway, so that's something I like to think about. Something about, like, is there going to be another Doors? Is there going to be another Beatles? Is there going to be another, you never know. But you can't rule it out. Never say never. That's how I feel about that.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah.
I would agree. Something I wanted to ask when you talk about the Doors influences. Is Business Suit ever going to have a keyboard player?
We've actually
talked about it.
Yeah,
We've talked about it.
We
have it on the
added
album.
some stuff on the album. Yeah.
Right. That's why I asked.
That was Sean and I doing the keys on that there.
We've tossed the idea around for sure.
You don't seem very sure about it.
We find the right.
You got to find the right person for a keyboard player.
Yeah, if we find the right person, maybe we'll add him in. But for right now, I think me and Hunter can handle it for the right
on the album. Yeah.
I want to ask you, what's your favorite Doors song? Because I have a weird one.
Mine is When the Music's Over.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah.
That's not even one we played.
Yeah, it's too long. It's like 12 minutes long.
Yeah, I mean...
Roadhouse Blues is pretty long.
That's a...
Yeah, that Blue Oyster Cult covers that?
Yeah.
You know Blue Oyster Cult covers that? Yeah, they only do it live, but they cover that. Do you have a favorite?
We covered this, and I think it's my favorite because we cover it, the Car Sits by My Window.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Hunter?
I'm a big fan of Backdoor, man. Actually,
I do love Backdoor.
I like that.
My favorite's Alabama song, man.
I do like
that song's fucking weird. It's just a circus song, like the way to the next whiskey bar.
Did you know that's a cover?
Get the fuck out of here.
It's like this weird like German opera from like the 30s.
I can believe, yeah.
And
wow.
I don't know why they covered that. Like, why did they choose that?
Because John Morrison loved little girls, and the line like "Show me the way to the next little girl," like
something weird.
Tell you we must die. All right, Jim.
Yeah, I took a music history class in college.
I don't think you really love little girls, by the way.
Yeah. Took a music history class in college, and they played like the original version of that. I was like, hey,
was your mind blown?
Isn't this a Doors song?
Yeah. Dude, that's kind of how it was when someone played "Got the Time" by Joe Jackson. I was like, this is an Anthrax song. No, Joe Jackson did it first. Fuck me, I don't know. I only know Anthrax. I don't give a shit. Yeah, it's always weird when you can hear covers that, like, I mean, a lot of people don't know, like, Nirvana never wrote "Man That Saved" or "The Man That Sold the World."
Yeah,
that was a David Bowie song. God, what other, like, I guess "All on the Watchtower." Mm-hmm. Well, that's common knowledge. That was Bob Dylan, I guess. But Hendrix did it a lot better.
Yeah. House of the Rising Sun, too. That's like a folk song.
Yeah. It wasn't an Animal song. It was another band.
It was an old folk song.
That's right. Well, half of Zeppelin's fucking discography were covers.
That one song, "In the Pines." That's a soul one. The
Nirvana
did it.
Don't have to shine. I'll sit in the whole night through. I only like I don't really like Nirvana's like 3 records. The only one I like is their unplugged performance on MTV.
That's very good.
That's the only thing I fucking like. I really don't give a shit about anything Nirvana has to do. Like, that's cool. I think Sean's wife is a Nirvana fan. I'm sorry. We'll talk later.
That was my high school, I guess. I liked Nirvana in high school, yeah.
I
didn't like Nirvana until like 2 years ago.
I don't hate Nirvana. Don't get me wrong. They did something for music, I suppose. But honestly, the best grunge band, and this isn't even a grunge band, but the best grunge band from that era was Alice in Chains, if you ask me. I mean, they had the balls to open for fucking Slayer. Like, yeah, you guys are good. But, alright, we're going to kind of conclude this video here because I'm getting too drunk off this Jack, and I'm sure you guys are too. There's no reason they call this Metal Hammered. They call this Metal Hammered for that reason. But like I said, I'm drunk. What do you want? You guys do have a show December 7th at the Mill.
Yeah.
It's gonna be pretty fucking
That's
sweet.
right.
Yep.
With the Disquiet and of course We as a Species, both from Lawrence Hysterectomy. What?
Don't they have a show tomorrow?
Oh, you have a show tomorrow. Well, this won't be out by the time. So by the time this comes out,
came to the show.
they would have had a show at the Sparrow.
And you came to that show?
December 1st.
Yeah, December
Now you
1st.
see-
But by the time this video comes out, they would have a show. They have a show at the Mill with We as a Species and the Disquiet from Columbia, also Guardians of Warlock in Charleston, and of course Business Suit is going to be headlining that show. Great show. I love seeing these guys. You guys should always come out. It's a free show at the Mill, of course. I thank you guys for coming on. It's been
Thanks
a
for
while
having
since we've
us.
been able to get you on here. So here's to you, Business Suit. We look forward to hearing your next record.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are recording the next record pretty soon,
We
right?
just recorded 5 songs, and I'm in the
Yeah.
process of mixing and mastering 2 of them. And we have the producer, Stephen Walker, is doing one other one for us right now.
At Rialto.
Rialto Road, downtown.
That is downtown Charleston.
Yeah, downtown, Rialto Road. Yeah.
No shit.
Yep.
Well, hell yeah, man. Well, I look forward to seeing
Soon.
or hearing, I guess.
Soon.
Soon. What, do you guys have a timeline?
Maybe beginning of the year.
Badass. All right. Well, Business Suit on the Metal for Metal show. We really appreciate you guys being on here again. We're gonna drink even more, and we're gonna fucking rock. Thank you guys so much. I'm PJ Steven from Metal for Metal. Thank you guys very much for joining us on this interview. We hope you guys enjoyed. Business Suit on the show. We'll see you guys December 7th. Have a good night.